Hello and welcome once again to The Old Man Speaks. I come to you 3 times a week, and usually I talk to you for 5 minutes, but today I have to listen to a new talk radio show, and we're just going to sit and listen to it together.
Now it's time for the King of Truth. Here he is, Ira Loudshouter.
Welcome everyone. Welcome to the Ira Loudshouter show. I'll be in this time slot. Well, I'm going to get right to it today. There's a plot in America that people aren't really aware of. They're certainly not getting news on either the mainstream or the alternative news sources. And it's that there's a war going on. No, not on Christmas. Not in Iraq. There's a war against acoustic instruments and good old-fashioned folk music. You're going to say, how come we're not hearing about this, Ira? Well, I'll get right to it. There are reasons that this administration and the previous administration didn't want you to have acoustic folk music, and I'll get right to it. First of all, let's use our current president, for example. You know he's a liar. You know he's self-centered. You know he's a narcissist. Therefore, he's against good old-fashioned, wholesome music. Why would someone of that ilk like this sweet, wonderful music? I mean, he's for cutting the arts. He wants the artists to starve. He wants them to be homeless. They'll be too weak to vote, and who do acoustic folk musicians vote for? They don't vote for Republican, I'll tell you that. I've spoken to a couple of my friends who are of similar mind to me. Perhaps you've heard of them, Lum and Abner. They work at the local feed store. I talked to Lum. He agrees with me 100%. He's seen it coming. Acoustic sales are down. Abner agrees with him. Look, there you have it. Everybody agrees on this. It's a danger. It's a cultural war, and we're trying to save our culture. Now you ask yourself, oh, look, in the 21st century, we got a lot of problems. We got COVID. We got enemies in other countries. We've got high taxes. We got the economy going bad. You're missing the big picture. You're missing our foundation, our moral foundation. And that moral foundation is music, folk music. Not your pop music, not your top 40. That's here today and you forget about it tomorrow. And why, you may ask? Why is folk music necessary? Because you can't have a functioning society without it. You can't have it. Look at the 60s. Society barely functioned, and it was probably because of folk music. Without folk music, we probably wouldn't have made it. There's also history involved. Many of you didn't know that in 1860, the state of Missouri put a tax on purchase of fiddles. What happened in 1861, you may ask? Well, our Civil War. They're trying to do the same thing that the British tried to do to Ireland. They're trying to shut their culture down, try to make them homogenous, try to get them in line, but it's not going to work, and you and I are going to stop it. Now, it comes down to me that there's only two ways to go in this country. We can either go down the road to hell, or we can go down the road to salvation. Either you support folk music, or you're a Satanist. I mean, it's clear as day. If you defund folk music, you're clearly in league with the devil. Clearly. There's no other way to look at it. Lum and Abner, of course, agree, as I stated earlier. And it's remarkable the kinds of wonderful things that listening to folk music can do for you. I mean, just the other day, there's no live concerts, which is really rough for me and for Josh, of course, as well, I'm sure. Big fan of live music. I listened to a taped Milwaukee Irish Festival tape yesterday. By morning, my acne was gone. There's proof for you right there. And there have been studies showing that when acoustic sales go down in the summer, murders increase. Do you want murders to increase in your country? Satanist murderers going around killing poor, hungry, homeless acoustic musicians? I say no. We put a stop to it right here. I don't want electric musicians, electric instruments. They're fascist. And if you think they're not fascist, you prove it to me. Now, they want to get rid of this mail-in voting. Sounds like, oh, well, we don't trust the votes. Not so. It's clear as day that the reason they want to get rid of mail-in voting is because they want to ban folk music. You can see it. You can see the two are tied, connected, clear as day. Everybody I've talked to is saying that the government is in a plot to get rid of acoustic musicians Where they're going to put them in camps, I don't know. But they're all saying it must be true. And I'll make enemies, sure. But this is the kind of hard-hitting, truth-telling, supremely logical show you can expect from Ira Loudshouter. Signing off, trust no one.
Sounds like a pretty typical talk show to me. See ya.